So in this video we are going to talk about Swift collection types. So in Swift we have three different collection types. That is the array, dictionary, and we have set. And with these collection types we can actually create collections of information, and we can manipulate that information, use that information, or return it. So let's start with string. So I'm gonna create a comment here. Arrays. We're gonna start with arrays. And how this works, we do var, let's say names. Then we're gonna open up with these braces. Then I write string is equal to empty string. Okay. What's wrong? Oh, sorry. Okay. So now we created an empty string. And let's say we want to add some data to this, right? So we're gonna do Johan. And now we have a string, and then we want to add information to an array. So we want to add multiple names, of course. We actually use a comma there, and then we add a new string, and I'm gonna call Patrick, comma, Ruud, comma, Denise, comma, and Kim. Okay, so we created an array of names here. So we have 5 names in our array. When we play this, or when we run this, let's see if everything goes alright. Probably it will. So what we can do, we can actually select the array. So what we can do print. We can do print the names. In this case, we print all the information inside the console. What we also can do, print names. Let's run this. So as you can see, we print names 0, and an array, a dictionary, and a set always starts with 0. So in this case we only print the first one, so that the 0, that's my name. So let's say we want to print the last one, right? Or maybe the third. So print names, and we do 2 because 0, 1, 2. So the third is Ruud. Pretty cool. Let's say we want to add something new to the array, right? So let's say we want to add a new name. So what we can do, we do names dot append, and the new value is gonna be Lisa. Pretty cool. So let's display this, and as you can see, the moment when we append Lisa in here, Lisa is also part of the array now. You don't see it in the code, but it's in there. So when we print names, and run this again, and now we actually, when we look into the console, we have Johan, Patrick, Ruud, Denise, Kim, and Lisa. And let's say we want to know how much names there are in the array, right? What we can do, we do names dot count. Let's run this. 6. So in this case, we created an array of names, and we gave it already a value of string. You don't have to do this, but it's just good practice, because normally when you use an array, you always use the same type of information. So in this case, you use string. And when you want to create another array with integers or doubles, you actually only use doubles. You don't mix arrays, or you don't mix strings with integers, floating point, or doubles. You don't do that. It's a bad practice, so don't do that. Another one after arrays is sets. So a set stores information, and there is no defined ordering there. So this means that when you put information into a set, there is no order in the way how you store the information. So when we want to start a set, let's say we're gonna var letters is equal to set. In here we're gonna call character, and we're gonna close it up with some braces. So this is how we this is how you create a set. And as you can see, instead of the braces here, we actually use these little pointy thingies. And what we could do when we do print, we can do letters dot count, and when we run this, okay, so at this moment we don't have any letters in our set, but we can actually insert letters into a set, and instead of append, like which we use with the array, we actually use insert. So what we can do, we're gonna call letters dot insert a. Then we do another one, letters dot insert b, and letters dot insert c. This is a big one. Let's make it a small one. So, and let's try this again. So print letters dot count, and let's run this. Okay, so we have 3 letters now. Pretty cool. And the big difference between an array and a set is actually I'm not sure if a lot of developers use this. I never do actually. I always use an array. But when you have like information that never changes, so like for example letters, right? Everybody knows an alphabet doesn't change. It's always A till Z. It's really good practice to put that in a set, because information that we store in a set is not widely changed, or doesn't change often, or doesn't change at all. So that's like a really good practice to use a set. So another way of defining a set is actually by already adding the information on forehand. So what you can do is var frameworks is a set is equal to, and now we actually use these braces. What's wrong? If I have put of any conformed hash will only struct in theoretically. Oh, wait a second. I think we need to add some values. So let's say we want to do bootstrap. Okay. Now the second one, comma. We're gonna add another framework which we want to learn. This is UIKit. Another one is Swift UI. Okay. Let's run this. Okay. Sorry. The reason why you got an error, or I got an error, is because a set always, if you define a set like this, it always needs a value. So in this case we need Bootstrap, UIKit, and Swift UI. What is also possible, let's say we want to check how many frameworks we have. So we do frameworks.count. Let's run this. 3. Okay, so this is a little bit how we work with sets. To be honest, I never use them actually. I always use an array or a dictionary. But it's just interesting to know that we actually have sets in this as well. I don't know a lot of courses where they actually tell you about sets. I'm not even sure if they know if it exists. And something else that we can do with sets, we can actually use set operations. And with these operations, you can actually order, delete, and add values to it. So let's say we're gonna do something. We're gonna do let odd numbers is set equals to 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And the next one is going to be let even numbers of set is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8. And then we have a single, we're gonna create a third one. This is the digit prime. So digit prime is also a set is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Let's create some space here. Okay, so in set we have different operations. We have 4. The first one is intersection, and with intersection you can actually create a new set from different sets together. Then we have symmetric differences, and this one actually creates a new set, but checks if the new values are either set or not. Then we have union. With union we can actually unite sets together. And fourth is subtracting, and this actually allows us to subtract sets from each other. So what we can do odd numbers dot union even numbers, and after that we can actually call sorted. So when we sort, in this case we have odd numbers and even numbers, and we put those two sets together. And when we put those two together, so like this, dot union, so now odd numbers unites with even numbers, and we sort them. So when we run this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that is because we actually put these two together and we let Swift sort them out. Another one that we have is intersection. So what we can do, we do odd numbers dot intersection. Then we're gonna call even numbers dot sorted. Let's run this. So as you can see, we receive an empty string. And a third one, or an empty set. The third one is going to be odd numbers dot subtracting. And that's going to be digit prime dot sorted. And when we run this, we get 1 and 9. So this actually shows you the highest and the lowest value. And now we have the last one. It's going to be odd numbers dot symmetric difference. And then we're going to call digit prime. And after that we're going to call dot sorted. Let's run this as well. And now you actually get 1, 2, 4, and 9. So as you can see, you can do a lot of stuff with sets. It's pretty amazing if you want to work with numbers, letters, and so on. As stated before, I never use it, but it's interesting to know that it actually exists. So in Swift, there's a third way of storing information, and that is the dictionary. So a dictionary is actually something where we can actually save multiple kinds of information in. Dictionaries are actually used a lot when we want to send or retrieve information from, for example, a server. So we have a name like Johan, and his age is 29, and his job is, let's say, developer. And a dictionary can actually store all that information, so we don't need to create multiple arrays, because we don't mix arrays with different kind of values, right? And that's what a dictionary is for. So for example, let's say we have a dictionary and we're going to call this var persons. Employees. So employees is equal to, and we're going to create a thing here. We're going to call it string, comma, double point, string. So we created an empty dictionary over here. So for employees is string and an initializer. So what this does, the dictionary is smart and knows the first value of the dictionary is going to be a string, and the second one is also going to be a string. So when we want to add information to this, we can actually do, let's say, employees braces. We're gonna paste in here a string and we're gonna call Johan, is equal to, right? Yeah, it's equal to, and his job is CEO. Because I'm the owner of DevScorch, I'm a CEO. So, okay, so that's added. So let's say we want to print out Johan. So we can do employees. Johan. Let's print this. As you can see, you get CEO back. And when we print this, so let's say print, and we're gonna print employees. Let's run this, and we can actually get my name and CEO. So let's add some more employees. So in my employees, yes, here we have Clantrick, and Clantrick is an editor. Oh, I need a string here. Then we're gonna add another employee, and that employee is Richard. And Richard is one of my moderators in the Discord channel. And let's add one more employees, and that is Devin. And Devin is also a moderator. Okay, so we actually added now different values to our dictionary. Let's start it, and let's see if when we print it out. So as you can see now, the whole dictionary is printed out. Pretty cool. So what is also possible, we can also create a dictionary with different types of information. So for example, we're gonna call var, and we're gonna call ages. Now employee age is equal to string, and this is going to be an int initializer. Okay, so we can do employees. Then we're going to do Johan. Oh, I need a string here. Johan is equal to 29. Then we have employees, and the second one is going to be Clantrick. And if I'm not mistaken, Clantrick is 24. Then we have employees. Oh, wait a second, I need employee age. Employee. I'm so sorry, because my English is bad today. And then we're gonna add in the third one. And the third one is gonna be Richard. And Richard is, if I'm not mistaken, 19. And let's print out employee. And let's print out employee age. Let's print this out. Let's see what happens. So as you can see now, we actually have Richard is 19, Johan is 29, and Clantrick is 24. So what is also possible is actually using a dictionary in a dictionary literal. So what we can do, instead of adding our information ourselves, adding the information later, we can also create an array with static information. So for example, var languages, need a small l, and this is going to be string, and this is going to be bool. So we're going to save a string and a bool, and this is equals to. Okay, so we have languages. Okay, if you want to create an empty array, you can actually use the double point sign, but we are not going to do that because we're actually going to add some information into this. So let's say I talk Dutch, right? So I speak Dutch, that is true. And we're going to give this a true, comma. Then I have English, is also true. Then I have German. It's also true. Then we do a fourth one. This is going to be French. This is also true. And then last but not least, let's say Mandarin. This is false. Okay, so we created a dictionary with static information. This is also called literal, and we made it a string and a bool. So, and we're actually going to check which languages do I speak. So, let's print out languages. Let's run this. So, as you can see, Mandarin is false, French is true, German is true, Dutch is true, and English is true. Pretty cool. And let's say we want to check how many languages do I speak. So languages.count. Let's run this. 5. So I do have 5 languages in there, and I speak 4 languages. Okay, so in this video we actually learned about collection types. We learned about arrays, how we can adapt them, how we can add information to it. And deleting information is actually the same way. We learned about sets, we learned about sets operations, and we learned about dictionaries, and we learned how we can actually save multiple kinds of information inside a dictionary. And believe me, this is going to be really important in the future when you're going to build your own applications, where you want to work with, for example, Firebase, or work with different services. They all use dictionaries to send and receive information. So, this is going to be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, make sure to send me a message on Discord. I'm always there. And yeah, in the next video we are going to talk about classes and structs, and I'm going to show you guys how we can initialize those and what the differences is. So let's go to the next video and let's see what classes and structs is all about.